Lethal Company version 50 is now out to the public. It is not a beta anymore, so to celebrate, here are 50 tips. Please comment any tips that you have discovered. Version 50 has introduced a lot of new monsters. Old birds are a new enemy that will kill anything that moves, including other outdoor monsters or even mimics. Their spawn locations are determined as soon as the day starts. They will be inactive until a random time. The earliest is 12 PM, where they will turn on and cause mass destruction. Pulling out the apparatus will turn on all the old birds from their slumber. They cannot spawn on Rend, so Rend might still be the GOAT. Another new monster is the Butler. Butlers take 2 shovel hits to kill in single player and 5 in multiplayer. They will pull out their knife if a player is alone in a room. Always go in a group of at least 2 players. Even then, make sure you don't touch him, as he needs his personal space. Close the door on butlers as they take a while to open them. Useful for escaping or even when exploring. If you kill a butler, these masked hornets will emerge from their dead body. They cannot be killed and will roam around, chasing you if you are in their line of sight. This means you should only kill butlers at the end of the day. These hornets can also open doors, so you can't trap them. Butlers drop their knives. You can damage enemies every 0.4 seconds with it. There will be blood splats to indicate you're dealing damage. Therefore, spamming left click faster than that doesn't make it do more damage. You can one-shot butlers with the knife. A new daytime monster, the Tulip Snake, was introduced. They have a power level of 0.5, spawn in groups of 4, and have a max count of 12. They can latch onto you, but you can get them off with a stun grenade, flashbang, radar machine, shovel, shotgun, or knife. You can kinda use them as a jetpack, though you have limited control. You can steer them horizontally, but it seems like you can't control them vertically. They can follow you inside. They can kill you if they make you fly to the main room's fan. Don't do that with a jetpack either. Speaking of jetpacks, they got buffed. Acceleration stayed the same, but deceleration was decreased, so slowing down and not injuring yourself is a bit easier. You can now hold down left click without exploding yourself. A new hazard has been introduced, the spike trap. There are 2 types of spike traps. The first is the interval mode, which slams down periodically. The second is a detection mode, which slams if a player is underneath it. They play an ambient sound if you're underneath. Both types of traps can squash monsters that you can kill normally. Unkillable monsters like the Blob, Jester, and Coilhead aren't affected by them. The detection trap slams down if the player surpasses the red light. This means you can drop loot on the other side of the light without getting squashed. Then you run to the other side. It will slam, but now you can pick up the loot and pass by the trap safely. You can disable them from the terminal. Adamance is one of the 3 new moons. It costs 0 credits to go to. Here's the main entrance and the fire exit. The short bridge on the left has 3 lives. On the 4th jump, it will collapse and deal damage to you. Only one part of the short bridge will collapse. If it's broken, you can use a ladder to get across. If you're not too heavy, you can use the metal support to jump across. The long bridge is similar to Val's. It has a durability bar, and when it reaches 0, then it collapses. The audio and the bridge shaking indicate that the durability is decreasing. Monsters can destroy this bridge. Look at this clip. All indoor enemies can spawn here. There's a shortcut behind the cabin to get back to the ship. You can also use this little shortcut to save a little bit of time. Speaking of the cabin, it is locked. There's nothing inside really, but the back room hides the name of one of the new moons, Artifice. This moon is an endgame moon, very dangerous and costs 1,500 credits. Here is the main entrance and the fire exit. There is a secret crawl spot you can use to get from the outskirts to inside the fence. If you find an old bird in a warehouse, you can pull down the lever of a curtain door and escape through the door as it's closing or through another door. This ensures it won't escape the warehouse. All indoor enemies can spawn here too. You can read the old bird's log to find out about a new moon, Embryon. It costs 150 credits to orbit. Here's the main entrance and the fire exit. The indoors loot is similar to experimentation, so this moon is not a good place to get rich. This moon is very dangerous at night or after you've pulled the apparatus, as all these old birds will turn on. You can escape to the fire exit and go around the outskirts and sneak to the ship. Dyne is completely changed. Here's the path to the main entrance and the fire exit. It has the highest chance of encountering a butler in the interiors, with a 43.88% chance. Baboon hawks will spawn in twos. Each has a power level of 0.5. These wood pike structure is a baboon nest. This is the first spot one baboon will spawn. Later on, they can spawn in a random place or in this nest. They will rest here and take stolen scrap here. See my full video on them if you want to know more. You now have more time to react to Earth Leviathans. When these sand particles pop up, you now have at least 1 second before they emerge. The minimum used to be 0.3 seconds. Forest keepers can be damaged now. You can cheese them from inside the ship with a shovel or a knife. Forest keepers can be damaged by other monsters, baboon hawks, eyeless dogs, old birds. The Easter egg item found as scrap in the interior can randomly explode if thrown or dropped, which will damage players and other entities. The physics behind running on slopes has changed. You run faster downhill and slower uphill. Use this knowledge when trying to bring loot back to the ship, or escaping monsters or bees. There are 2 new cosmetic items. One of them is the bunny suit. It is pink and it makes a little noise when you jump. The second cosmetic is the disco ball. It plays music in the ship when you turn off the lights. Be careful as this attracts dogs. Alright, we did it. That's 50. Leave comments of your own tips and be sure to like and subscribe. Or don't if you didn't like it. Anyway, I appreciate you guys. I will see you in the next video. Laters.